I actually ended up in Houston, Texas, and for a job in the construction business after about 10 years of doing it. And the job fell through. And I had my TikTok and stuff, and I had about probably 30,000 followers on there. And so I told my wife, I was like, you know, I'm going to take about a couple months and just really decide what I want to do, because at that point I was getting really burnt out. And one day I'd been applying for this and that, nothing was coming through. I went out on the porch, and I'm a spiritual person, and I said a prayer. I said, God, you say in your book the birds don't worry about what they're going to eat, and the flowers aren't concerned about what they're going to wear. So I've done it my way for 10 years. I want to give it to you, see what you got. That same week, TikTok announced that they were going to start paying creators with the Creator Reward Fund, which didn't mean a lot to me because I wasn't getting a tremendous amount of views at that time. I'd made a few $100s a month maybe.
And what were you putting on TikTok?
Country music history stories.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing that I'm doing now, but not as serious at all. 3 days after that, I posted a video of Hank Williams Jr. falling off the mountain. I think it was getting pretty close to the anniversary of it.
You know, we're sitting right by Hank Jr.'s truck here at the Legends of Country Music Museum. This is quite appropriate.
Yeah.
That the video that you posted, the one that really put you on the map, was a Hank Jr.
It was. It got over 1 million views, and the next day, TikTok updates every day how much you got paid the day before. Next day I look and I'd made $700. And I said, wow, I could probably make a living at this if I can do it again. And so the next video I posted hits 1 million again, and I was like, man, maybe I can do something with this, and never swung a hammer again. When I started, you couldn't have convinced me that there would ever come a day where I'd have 1.2 million followers across everything. You couldn't have convinced me that. I'd have told you was crazy. Because I just didn't think there was that many people that cared like I care. And there is, and that's been the biggest shock to me. And I, again, just so thankful for those people. So yeah, I'm going to keep on doing it until I can't anymore, and hopefully that's a long time from now.
So on Spotify, Drifting Cowboy hit 36 in the U.S. and is in the top 5% of all video podcasts.
Yep.
Of everything, all the famous people doing podcasts, you're in the top 5%.
Yep.
It grew faster than 99% of the shows on the platform.
Yeah. And that was all a shock to me. I just found this out, I guess, a week and a half ago. They send you all of your statistics there at the end, and it was very humbling to read that, to know that we're growing that fast, and again, that there's just that many people that cares to sit down and listen to an hour podcast of these legends telling their stories. It's so great. I'm really excited to see what happens next year. If we hit 36 this year, I'm hoping next year maybe we'll crack the top 20, you know?
All right, Dillon, here's where you give the lesson to the newcomer to YouTube and to everybody else who's watching. Okay, if somebody's wanting to be the next Dillonweldon like I'm wanting to, okay, you started how many years ago of doing your TikTok?
About 5.5 years ago.
Okay, you did the TikTok. Then what's the next step after that?
Well, when TikTok started blowing up, I got it up to, after that Hank thing, by the end of that summer, so the Hank video, the first one that blew up, was in the end of March of 23. By the end of July of that same year, I'd went from 30,000 to 100,000 followers on there, and I thought, man, I should probably diversify. And so I got on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and started just posting the same things across all platforms. Facebook went crazy. The first month I got 50,000 followers. It was pretty insane. So I just diversified and started growing the followings on everything. YouTube's the hardest though. YouTube is still very difficult. But
and why is that?
I think it's just how the platform is. You know, it's great when it's good, but it's unforgiving whenever, and it's really all, I'm not blaming the platform. It's all yourself, and I do everything myself. I make the thumbnails and stuff. So when I have a video that doesn't do as good as other videos, I'm analyzing why was it the thumbnail, was it the title, was it the hook? You know, there's a lot that goes into making a good video, so I'm always analyzing. And I made a pact back then with a friend of mine, Josh, who also makes a living off of social media now. We weren't at the time that we made this pact, that we were going to consistently post videos and try to make the next one better than the last. And we both did that. Now we both make a living on social media. And I still do that today. I try to make the next one better than the last one.
YouTube, you say, is the hardest or toughest. Does it pay the most?
On long form, it does. On short form, so the vertical stuff that I do, TikTok is probably still what pays the best. Instagram doesn't pay at all. Facebook pays, but it's about half what TikTok pays, and YouTube doesn't really pay great at all in the shorts. But as far as long form goes, if you have a video that does well in long form, yeah, it could be life-changing money. I haven't got there yet, but I'm hoping to, with enough consistency and time, to get there where I can really make the bulk of my money off of YouTube.
The first TikTok was the Hank Jr. You're just there on your phone telling the story. That's all you're doing on that?
Funny thing about that is my wife had been in a car accident, pretty serious car accident, and she was having to go to physical therapy at the time. And so I'd drive her to physical therapy, and I would just sit in the car. I filmed that video sitting in the car waiting on my wife to get out of physical therapy. You know, no lights, no microphone, nothing, just the sunlight. And filmed that in the car, not knowing that this video is about to change everything. I'm sitting in a car waiting on my wife to get out of a doctor's appointment and film that video, and it changed everything.
And you just told the story of Hank Williams
Yep.
Jr. and his hunting accident. Was that the one?
I said, you ever wonder why Hank Williams Jr. has that beard and wears those glasses and that hat? And then I told the story.
Wow, and that's it. So the platforms you're on right now, what are they?
Just about everyone you can think of, except Twitter. I never got on Twitter. I don't know why. I never understood the platform, so I never got on it. So that's about the only one I'm not on.
Instagram doesn't pay. Does it let you help promote to the other sites or no?
Well, the good thing about Instagram that I like, and the reason that I keep it up, is it prioritizes. I make a lot of connections through Instagram. When somebody with a lot of followers follows you, it puts it in a priority category where other platforms don't. If somebody really famous follows you on Facebook or TikTok, you'll never know it unless you happen to see it. Instagram prioritizes that, and you can communicate with those people, or when they like something of yours. You know, one of the craziest one is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson follows me on Instagram.
Really?
And he likes my stuff from time to time and has commented before. Actually, when I reposted that Hank story, I think he commented and said that one of his favorite songs, I believe, was "Feeling Better," maybe, or
yes.
"All in Alabama," one of those songs. Wow. But so to know that people like that follow you is crazy. But that's the cool thing about Instagram, is that it does let you know.
So all the platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, what else you on?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Threads is the other one that the Facebook conglomerate owns. I don't get on there much, but everything I put on Instagram automatically posts over there. I think that's it.
You can make money on Facebook.
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I've heard of a lot of people who make a lot of money on Facebook. I don't. I mean, some months are good, some months are okay. But I've heard of some of my other creator friends who have, millions of followers do really well on Facebook. Hopefully we'll get there one day. We just hit 500,000 on Facebook, so really happy about that.
Wow, that would be hard to maintain, as far as your page would get out of control, and I don't.
Yeah, it's not always easy. I kind of have a system, when I post one video, I post it across everything, and I try to get back with people. I have a lot of people message me and stuff, and apologies to some people. Sometimes I'll come across messages when I'm walking through the airport or something and don't get back. And I actually had a guy get really angry with me a while back because I'd read his message and didn't respond. It was not because I didn't want to respond. I just was going through an airport or something at the time. And so apologies to anybody that I don't get back to, but I try to get back to most people and be interactive with everybody, because I know the reason that people follow me is because they love country music like I do, And so it's good to talk to those people.
I had been a fan of yours for the last year or so, really watching all of your stuff. And I said, man, can I get a picture with you? And then I got your number and said, could we go out to lunch? And I took a lot of time. It was a pretty long lunch.
It was.
And picked your brain, got all your tips. And I said, I'm just getting my YouTube going, doing kind of the same stuff you're doing, but different. And that first month on your tips, now this is not dillonweldon money, but that first month on YouTube, I made $1,500.
That's incredible.
And here we're off and rolling.
Yeah, well, I'm glad.
Thanks to your input and your advice. And
well, I'm glad to hear that you're being successful with it. Like I said at the beginning of this, I think what you're doing is so important, and I'm glad to know you.